Just another day in the life.
Whoa! When I was finishing up my Spider-Man video the other day, I realized I forgot about something, and that was the utter nightmare fuel that is Monster Hawk. And it got me thinking, what are some creepy or scary things that come into games that we weren't really expecting them from? Spoiler, you might be surprised to know that a lot of these on this list are Nintendo games, ironically enough. So without further ado, here's some creepy ass things you might find in your normal games. Thank you to everybody on my community tab and my Twitter that contributed.
What the? Is that
So obviously first on this list is Monster Hawk. As you're progressing through the story, you run into Carnage, who's also partnered up with Doc Ock. But end of game spoiler here, plot twist, after you think you defeated Doc Ock, that motherfucker comes back as a zombie mutant thing. And you're spending the last level of the game trying to exit this building that's exploding behind you while you have this monstrosity chasing after you. And if you mess up while you're running through this level, which is really easy to do in this game, he beats you to death. When you're playing through the introduction of Ocarina of Time, you would never come to expect what you're going to experience in the Shadow Temple, because from the second you step in there, the music and atmosphere is going to completely make you uneasy. And from your first encounter with an enemy in this temple, you're going to realize it's not just the atmosphere that's going to make you uneasy. The game immediately turns into Ocarina of Silent Hill as you're making your way through this temple, slashing these skulls and zombie-looking things. And to top it all off, this is your boss battle. As a kid, I really didn't play many Nintendo games, and it's probably a good thing because I would have gotten this as a kid, and I wouldn't have been able to sleep that night. And if you weren't able to sleep at night, I hope you weren't thinking of pulling out Pokemon Red or Blue while you're cuddled up in your bed all comfortable. I hope you have a palm reader with you, because as soon as you step into Lavender Town, you're going to be faced with the harsh reality that everybody's Pokemon is fucking dead. Clearly we can't play Zelda and we can't play Pokemon, so let's turn our Nintendo 64 back on and go back onto Mario 64, because that's a nice game, right? There's no way there's going to be anything terrifying in this game except this piano that literally wants to fucking eat you. At this point, Nintendo realized that they could just turn their franchises into horror franchises, and that's when they released Zelda Majora's Mask. This whole game has a completely dark undertone, so what more do we really need to say about it? So at this point, Nintendo's obviously scarred you for life, so you decide to take a break from that and go over to your brother's PS2. And he just happens to have Metal Gear Solid 3 sitting in there, some tactical stealth action, finally a complete break from all this weird, creepy shit popping up in bright, fun games. You might get about maybe 5-10 hours in, you get really deep into this game without a care in the world until you meet the Sorrow. Metal Gear Solid is a tactical stealth game. You can kind of choose to kill people if you want, but obviously the objective is to generally go undetected. If you choose to murder a ton of said people, the Sorrow is going to drag you down and make sure that you're exposed to all of the ghosts of the people that you killed. Have fun being haunted. You will re-encounter every person that you met in the game through this sequence that you murdered, whether it be a soldier, a boss, your uncle. Doesn't matter, you're seeing him again here, so I hope you were a good boy. Throughout the game, in these seemingly normal cutscenes, there will be a ghost that just pops up in the background showing you signs, whether that be a timer or telling you to do something, giving you hints. It's really creepy. But maybe you have Nintendo Stockholm Syndrome, so you decide to pick you up a GameCube and pick up Wind Waker, because this game is so bright and it's cute, until you meet the Re-Deads, which screams will replay in your head when you're trying to sleep at night. Why are these elements in such an otherwise cute game? But the creepy things in seemingly normal games isn't exclusive to Nintendo. Fast forward to the Xbox. You're getting into some Halo, and before you get into that multiplayer action, you're playing through the campaign, wiping out some aliens. One type of alien in particular, the Flood, which runs at you like a pack of Left 4 Dead zombies, and they look like little miniature crab heads from Half-Life. If your sorry ass happens to fall victim to them, have fun being mutilated by them.
We can't let the Flood get off his ring. You know what he'd expect.
So you get on your Wii that you have, because everybody has a Wii besides me. I think I'm the only person that didn't ever have a Wii. And you get on that new Zelda Twilight Princess. And everything's been going pretty good for your sanity up until now, until you literally watch this guy scream and explode in front of you. But by now, now you're a mature adult, and now you can play games such as the Grand Theft Auto, which inherently isn't a creepy game. It's a mature game, but it wouldn't be considered really scary. So you're flying around, exploring. Of course you're gonna go over to the Statue of Liberty. Did you know the Statue of Liberty is the heart of the city? That's not a metaphor. There's literally a beating heart inside of it. Competitive multiplayer games isn't safe from this either. So you're on some Modern Warfare 3 face-off with the homies. What could they possibly do with a Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer map? Well, they could put a graveyard in it, but that's not really a big deal. It's not like if you took cover behind any of these gravestones that you would start hearing voices from under the ground. They would never do anything like that, would they? If you were a child that was traumatized by any of these things, you're not going to be able to get those memories erased, but if you're in America, I don't know, maybe you could sue for it or something. Everybody seems to be doing that now. I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more that I didn't think of. I know BioShock was mentioned, but I kind of figured BioShock overall had this really creepy horror setting, so I didn't really feel like that was anything out of the ordinary too much. But I'm sure there's a ton I missed, so if there's anything you guys can think of, be sure to drop it in the comments, because I'm really curious with these kind of things. The biggest shocker for me during this video is that almost all of this is Nintendo themed stuff, which is something you probably wouldn't really expect, but yeah, there it is. But if you mentally scarred child adults enjoyed these type of videos, maybe I can cover something else like this. Be sure to check out my Spider-Man video, it's pretty good. Check out my playlist, I got a bunch of other shit I cover, and if you really enjoyed it, support the Patreon, maybe throw me a couple bucks. Any support from Patreon is going directly back into these videos. Example, the GameCube controllers that I used in my previous GameCube video, the camera that I'm using for this video now, and lighting, and anything else I can think of that can really help us out. But most of all, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of this format, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. It's been T, and my arm is really tired of holding this. Alright, I think we're ready to finish this recording. Today we're going to be recording a video of me holding the microphone while I'm talking, and I don't think this is going to end up very well, but I'm going to try to do it anyways. This thing's fucking heavy. You wouldn't really expect that. You wouldn't really expect that, but this thing is fucking heavy.